Today, the government of Libya announced the death of Muammar Gaddafi.
One of the mistakes which some political analysts make is to think that their enemies should be our enemies.
We all know who and what issue Nelson Mandela was talking about when he made this statement. Now, imagine if Nelson Mandela had been the president of South Africa when the West went into Libya and got rid of Muammar Gaddafi. Would South Africa have gotten involved? It's interesting to think about, especially since Mandela's grandson is named Gaddafi, showing how much support Gaddafi once had in South Africa and other African countries. Gaddafi ruled Libya for 42 years, starting as a hero, then becoming an outcast, then a hero, and then an outcast again. Since the unfortunate death of Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi, numerous theories have circulated regarding the circumstances surrounding his demise. Some suggest it was orchestrated by the United States to safeguard their interests.
The coalition said destroying Gaddafi was not their goal. Then why bomb his palaces? Now some officials have claimed that eliminating him was in fact their goal. Who gave them that right? Did he have a fair trial? Returning to the no-fly zone, the bombings are destroying the country's entire infrastructure. When the so-called civilized world uses all its military power against a small country destroying what's been created by generations, I don't know if that's good.
Demonstration at all in the streets. No one against us. Against me for what? Because I am not president.
But then
they love me, all my people with me. They love me all.
But if they do love you,
they will die to protect me, my people.
If you say they do love you, then why are they capturing Benghazi and they say they're against you there? Why are they in Zawiya?
It is a guide. It is guide, not my people. It is guide. Guide, yes.
Colonel Gaddafi, the President of the United States, the leaders of Britain and other leaders are calling on you to step down, to leave Libya, to leave your position of power. Will you do that?
Who would leave his homeland? Why do I leave my homeland? Why do I leave Libya?
Ground for terrorists. Right now, Libya, nobody even knows Libya. Frankly, there is no Iraq and there is no Libya. It's all broken up. They have no control. Nobody knows what's going on.
The world would be better off with Saddam Hussein
100%.
and Gaddafi in power?
100%. Now, as far as Assad is concerned.
What about the human rights abuses?
Let's talk, well, you don't think they're happening now? They're worse now than they ever were. People are getting their heads chopped off. They're being drowned. Right now, they're far worse than they were ever under Saddam Hussein or Gaddafi. I mean, look what happened. Libya is a catastrophe. You look at our ambassador as an example, okay? Libya is a disaster. Iraq is a disaster. Syria is a disaster. The whole Middle East. And it all blew up around Hillary Clinton and around Barack Obama. It all blew up. Now, one thing about Assad, not a good guy. I understand that. But we're backing and spending billions and billions of dollars on backing rebels that we have no idea who they are. And a lot of people think they're ISIS. I happen to think they're ISIS, but who knows? But we're spending billions of dollars to get Assad out with people that we have.
And yet here Trump is, revealing what most of us already knew. The dollar is feeling the heat.
If we lost the dollar as the world currency, I think that would be the equivalent of losing a war. That would make us a third world country.
You might remember two men, Muammar Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein. You know what they had in common? they really weren't fans of the dollar.
Africa has come of age. Therefore, all the processes towards establishing a uniform currency should be revisited with a view to hasten the process. Africa should surpass Europe in the establishment of strong unity and the integration of the African economies, which will translate into the creation of a single market, single central bank, and uniform currency for the continent.
Imagine the most resource-rich continent on Earth, brimming with minerals and oil and diamonds. And its nations would use a gold-backed Pan-African currency. All those treasures outside of the dollar's ecosystem. And that was something that kept Washington up at night. Brought to you straight from then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's hacked inbox.
Gaddafi's government holds 143 tons of gold and a similar amount in silver. During late March 2011, these stocks were moved to Sabha, southwest in the direction of the Libyan border with Niger and Chad, taken from the vaults of the Libyan Central Bank in Tripoli. This gold was accumulated prior to the current rebellion and was intended to be used to establish a pan-African currency based on the Libyan golden dinar.
Well, you know the rest of the story. American Tomahawk cruise missiles rained down on Gaddafi's forces, and by the end of the year, the Libyan leader was no more.
We came, we saw, he died. Did it have anything to do with your visit?
No. Oh, by the way.
Sure
So I think you get the picture. There might be a new boss in the Oval Office, but it turns out he's the same as the old one. Because old habits, well, old habits die hard.
Gaddafi died in honor, fighting for the Libya that he believed in. They would never have won if NATO was not bombing day in and day out. Brother Ali Baghdadi, that is a writer and a great Arab writer, said they bombed Libya back to the Stone Age. We were in Libya. We saw Libya being built from the ground up. We witnessed what this man did for the Libyan people. And for NATO to have bombed it like this, watch for Halliburton, watch for Bechtel, watch for the vultures of London, England, and France, and others trying to rebuild the infrastructure that they purposely destroyed, which is against international law.
Muammar Gaddafi was the leader of Libya for over 4 decades, from 1969 until his overthrow and death in 2011. Gaddafi was a controversial figure, both in Libya and on the international stage. He was known for his unconventional leadership style and his ambitious plans to transform Libyan society. Gaddafi came to power in 1969 after leading a military coup that overthrew the Libyan monarchy. He then implemented a system of government known as the Jamahiriya, or state of the masses, which he claimed was a form of direct democracy. Gaddafi was also known for his fiery speeches and his opposition to Western imperialism. He often criticized the United States and other Western powers for their policies towards the Middle East and Africa. Despite his controversial legacy, Gaddafi also had supporters around the world. He was a strong advocate for African unity and cooperation. Muammar Gaddafi's legacy continues to be debated today, with some seeing him as a hero of anti-colonialism.
When I've seen you on television when you held your speeches, you are very lively and loud and vivid, and now you're very quiet and...
كل مقام مقال.
Guys, Take a look at Libya here in Africa during the time of Mohammed Gaddafi. Just compare these two pictures you are seeing right here. The time of Mohammed Gaddafi and the Libya of today. Compare these two pictures you are seeing. Do you notice any differences? Do you notice that? They called Mohammed Gaddafi a dictator. They accused him. They took him down. Obama and others, they took him down. Now see Libya of today. Anybody that Westerners calls a dictator knows that that person is not a Western puppet. Knows that that person have the interests of African people at heart. But you see, anybody that these people praise, adore, knows that that person is a Western puppet. Now, use your brain. Check all over Africa. Who are these guys praising? And who are they condemning? Check it. You will compare. These people knows what they are doing. They already called Ibrahim Traoré a dictator. Abu Tiani a dictator. And Mali President Assimi Goïta a dictator. But they praises Tinubu, Nigerian president. Akufo-Addo, Nana Akufo-Addo, the president of Ghana. The president of Cameroon. They praises all of them Western puppets. This is what is happening if you don't know.
Democracy that is not managed can be anarchy. Rights, these rights that, look at our rights now. Prisoners get free uniform. Learners don't have free uniform. The uniform she's wearing, the mother bought it. She doesn't get it for free. She wants a free uniform, she must go to prison. How do you give prisoners free uniform and you don't give learners free uniform? You give prisoners flushing toilet. Students, learners in the Eastern Cape don't have flushing toilets. Prisoners have. You give prisoners breakfast, lunch, supper. Our people in Alexander, if they have a meal that day, they are very fortunate. But prisoners have got a guaranteed meal. Prisoners have got running water. Prisoners have got electricity.
You won't believe what Muammar Gaddafi accomplished in the Sahara Desert. His grand water scheme, known as the Great Man-Made River Project, is an engineering marvel that deserves to be recognized as the eighth wonder of the world. But this project wasn't without controversy. What was Gaddafi's vision, and how did he plan to bring it to life? We'll take you on a journey through this breathtaking project and reveal all the juicy details.
قذافي في فنزويلا وأنا قاعد. هذه المحطات العربية أكبر عدو مشمتة فيكم. تبغيكم تدمروا النفط وتدمروا الحرية وتدمروا السلطة الشعبية وتدمروا ليبيا وما عاد تبدأ ليبيا قلعة عالمية ومغتاظين منكم. عشان كذا يسووا فيكم. بارك الله فيكم يا أخوتنا في قطر. بارك الله فيكم يا أخوتنا في قطر. هذه آخرتها. هذا الماء والملح اللي بيننا وبينكم. هذا الدم والأخوة اللي بيننا وبينكم. تزوروا في كل شيء علينا. بدل ما تكونوا معانا تكونوا ضدنا. لمصلحة من؟ بالله لمصلحة من؟ قد تندمون يوم لا ينفع الندم. الذي بيته من الزجاج لا يرجم الناس بالحجارة. من أنتم؟ دقت ساعة العمل. دقت ساعة الزحف. دقت ساعة الانتصار. لا رجوع. إلى الأمام. إلى الأمام. إلى الأمام. ثورة. ثورة.
Libya under Muammar al-Gaddafi tried what did they do to him? They killed him. Burkina Faso, under Thomas Isidore Sankara, tried it. What did they do to him? They killed him. Ghana, under the Osagie for Kwame Nkrumah, tried it. What did they do to him? Removed him from power. Tanzania, under Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, tried it. What did they do to him? They undermined his economy. Mozambique, under Samora Moises Machel, tried it. What did they do to him? They killed him.
Wait, it doesn't end there. What about Ruben Umnyobe of Cameroon, Amilcar Cabral of Guinea-Bissau and Cape Verde, Felix Moumier of Cameroon, Sylvanus Olympio of Togo, Hamani Diori of Niger, Laurent Désiré Kabila of DR Congo, Samuel Doe of Liberia, Eduardo Mondlane, Marion Nguabi, Barthélemy Boganda, Pierre Mulele, and many others.
So whenever you tried to decolonize in all spheres, the former colonizer turned policeman of the world or policeman of the world will take you out.
TikTok single-handedly dismantled all the systems that the government wants us to function on. They want us to listen to the media. They want the media to tell us what's going on in the world. They don't want us to see the actual stuff that's going on in the world so we can make up our own minds about what's going on. They want to be able to control that and distract you. That's why the entertainment industry is around. That's just to distract you. And now we're just ignoring celebrities, Kardashians. I remember all of these magazines about celebrities and like being involved in what the hell they're doing. As a collective, we just don't care about them anymore. They don't contribute to our lives. TikTok opened the eyes of so many people on how we are desperate to communicate with each other, to be in community. While before, the government would like us to be separated and only listen to what they have to say. That's probably one of the biggest reasons why this is banned. They don't want us talking to each other.
What have you contributed to the world?
I'm not sure if you're aware, but I created the world's most popular computer operating system.
No, of course. But as we all know, it wasn't actually you who created it. As a matter of fact, the predecessor of Windows, MS-DOS, was created by Gary Kildall, which you then basically stole from him for a couple of dollars.
It's not just development. There's a whole lot of important factors to running an enormously successful company like Microsoft.
So then let's leave the computer world for a moment. You have been a major spokesperson for COVID vaccines during the pandemic.
Yes.
What exactly makes you, a computer engineer who didn't even program his initial product himself, a valid representative of the pharmaceutical industry?
I have read a lot of books about that
yes,
topic.
But how does that?
Wait a second. And met with specialists from the field all over the world.
Mr. Gates, with all due respect, how do you feel about it now? Now that it's becoming more and more evident that the medication you were promoting, whilst having heavily invested in it yourself, thus making billions of it,
this is not how the world works,
has caused countless injuries, side effects, and death.
That's a very immature way of looking at it, quite frankly.
So here's my final question to you. Is this a behavioral pattern?
What do you mean exactly?
Taking technology from other people that you don't understand, selling a product full of bugs, causing massive damage and profiting from it in a spectacular...
These are the questions that are on the minds of millions of people. And you can see that he could barely respond to all those questions because all he cared about is money. All he got is money. This man right here is an enemy to humanity. There is nothing anyone is going to tell me. I don't even understand why he is walking around freely, granting interviews, wearing suits. I don't understand. This man is up to no good, in my opinion. Anyways, let me know what you think about this, and thank you for watching as always.
Na kuna mpango, rais pamoja na Bill Gates wanasema watadunga ng'ombe zote za Kenya shindano. Kama jamii ya Kajiado, Narok, tumesema hatutakubali ng'ombe zidungwe. Kama unadunga ng'ombe, dunga yako. Na Mheshimiwa Rais, you cannot force vaccination on people's cattle or sheep and goat without their consent. Haiwezekani. One, before you vaccinate, una vaccinate nini? Ugonjwa gani iko? Number two, why are you forcing it on people? Kama tuko na foot and mouth, mimi naendaga kwa veterinary na mwambia kuja unidungie ng'ombe yangu. Why are you forcing a special vaccine created by Bill Gates, funded 80% by the same person, na unataka kutuambia ni lazima tuchukue hiyo vaccine? Your Excellency, you want to introduce genetic implants. It is dangerous to the product ya maziwa na pia na pia hao wazungu wanasema hivyo, wao wenyewe hawadungi ng'ombe yao, wanasema ng'ombe ya Afrika ndio iweze kudungwa. Hiyo itakuwa ni sawa kweli? Nikienda kumalizia, tunaenda msimu wa Christmas. Mimi natakia watu wengine wote Christmas njema, lakini rais akutane na Mwenyezi Mungu. Asanteni sana.
Now the next election,
yes.
Unajua hawa ndio watakuwa nasema fagia wote ama mtasema namna gani? This generation,
yes,
they use their might because they didn't vote. The largest vote in the last election.
You like